Hello. Well, what's the matter, man?
Oh, you usually start off with the introductions.
No. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, some sanity check radio here with Skillet Sauce Ken and 8 over there on the boards. Hey, we're getting the floor to everything today. And would you like to give us the date and the time there, old?
Sure. It's October 15th.
It's almost like the Magic Garden, And I guess he's that little, what's that motherfucker named Seymour? Well, Sherlock, yeah.
It's not quite, well, sort of like fucking fuchsia or some shit like that.
Yeah, I know, but he was little and short. Yeah.
Well, he was a squirrel after all.
Yeah, actually. Hey, you remember the Magic Garden?
No, I'm not that old, bro.
Yeah, whatever, motherfucker. He remembers that shit. Yeah, but yeah. So,
is that what you call Auntie's vagina?
Yeah.
Wow.
The Magic Garden. That badoop bop. That's exactly what I call it. The Magic Garden. And Seymour loved his nuts. And Sherlock loved his nuts. Remember?
Yes.
Sherlock loved some
squirrel,
nuts. The squirrel. I can't believe they still touring. Can you believe that shit, man?
Yeah, I know.
That shit's amazing. It's been like, what, 50 years or whatever the hell?
Yeah, I'm not that old, bro.
Yeah, I know they've been on for a long time. But in any case, yeah, so, this story actually, this Crocker shit story here was actually, I had several people send me this thing. This one was a cat, Marlon, and big ups to Marlon. If they even say that in 2013 anymore, sent us this particular thing about this Russian drug, this crocodile shit. Now, we actually have two stories, but the first one is these sisters, I guess they have the distinction of being the first case studied or whatever of this terrible Russian drug. And it says these sisters are proof that the flesh-eating drug crocodile is sweeping America and taking a terrible toll on addicts around the country. Amber and Angie Nitzel from Joliet, Illinois, say they have been abusing the toxic cocktail, which originated in Russia, for about a year and a half, which means it has been on the streets of the U.S. for much longer than originally feared. The doctors treating Angie, who is a drug expert with 16 years experience, told the Mail Online that the effects of the crocodile are the worst I have ever seen. Am and Angie agreed to pose for photographs which show how the drug has laid waste to their bodies. Now, I don't know if you people know anything about this particular drug. I mean, the first time I heard of this was like, what, 3 weeks ago?
Something like
2 or 3 weeks ago. And, when you see the photographs, you'll see that this is one of the worst things that I've ever seen. And I've seen, the faces of meth, the meth mouths and people looking like they're aging, and dog ears and shit like that. But this is really disgusting. They claim at first that they had no idea they were taking crocodile, a mixture of codeine and toxic ingredients, including gasoline and lighter fluid, thinking it was normal heroin.
Yeah, what bastards to
lie to
normal heroin with this terrible thing.
With gasoline and shit, yeah. But they said, weeks into their use, the pair started developing hideous lesions and sores on their legs and arms. The drug got its name from the Russian for crocodile because, what kind of poorly written shit is this? It leaves addicts with scaly, gangrene-infected skin. After months of abuse, 29-year-old Angie's condition worsened to such an extent she was rushing to extensive care in the middle of the night with crippling stomach pains. She was convinced she was going to die. She had to spend weeks in Juliet Presence St. Joseph Hospital. And, they were showing some before and after pictures. Now, their faces, they were showing her Facebook photo before and after. Doesn't look as bad as those meth faces at all. No. I mean, she looks disheveled, like maybe she went on a weekend bender or something like that. She doesn't look, her head doesn't look too messed up. But the body, oh my God. She is still recovering after care from a leading drug specialist, Dr. Abin Singla, who has spoken out about crocodile problems after he saw 5 cases at his small-town hospital in the last few weeks. Dr. Singla confirmed that to Mail Online that the sisters are using crocodile, and after they signed medical release forms freeing him to publicly discuss their condition. They're just talking about, this dude looks like fucking Yoda.
He look like he's on this shit.
Yeah, I'm sure this guy's eyes is popping out like that black lady with the Guinness Book of World Records. Wait, I mean, he's doing this thing, but this dude looks like somebody's squeezing his fucking stomach or something like that.
He's actually just smiling.
But what's up with his eyes?
They got buggy eyes. What the fuck you want from him?
Mad buggy eyes and shit. They said that sores are the doctor said the sores are very different to anything else. They go right down to the bone. It is extremely graphic and worse than anything I've seen before. One of these women said their boyfriend, which I thought was interesting, had maggots. Like eating up, the open sore meat and shit like that. And I'm looking at these photographs.
But see, this is my issue. Well, as you're reading, as I'm listening to this story, the only thing I keep thinking about is you bitches didn't think anything was wrong enough to stop shooting this shit up.
See, no, I was going to think about the same thing. I remember that film with Jared Leto and what was it, Marlon Wayans and God,
Requiem for a Dream.
Requiem for a Dream. But I'm saying I forgot the chick's name. She was a very pretty actress. But in any case, and his arm was stinking. Right? Remember, he was like, oh, man, the shit was infected. And he was still so junkied out. He was shooting in the stinking infected hole. And then I think of that story that Jay used to tell us about that dude. They would test drugs on his arm. He would walk around in Harlem with a garbage bag over his arm because, for whatever reason, this dude could shoot the most lethal drugs in this stinking rotted fucking arm, zombie arm, and somehow the arm would filter it to where he wouldn't die, but he would be able to tell you if it was a potent drug or not. Now, that's like part of urban Harlem legend, but still in all, yeah, that was a disgusting story. But these people, because none of these stories so far told of, like, was there like an itching feeling before the sore came about? What happened, because she said, she had the terrible stomach pain. Oh my God. Anybody would react that way. But I mean, if I see one hole pop up on my arm that's not supposed to be there, and it's a festering, pus dripping sore, I know something's wrong, and I'm going to the doctor. These women look like they got hit with like fucking radioactive isotopes and shit. They took a bath in Fukushima water or something like that. I mean, they're really fucked up and scaly and just they're in bad shape, man. So I'm just like, how do they not know at the early stages that something is like going wrong?
Well, like you said, all these other stories, these movies, I guess these people know, but they're just so hooked on the junk that they just don't give a shit. Like I guess in their minds, it has to be something else, or we'll try every other option, but to stop shooting up, to fix these ghastly fucking lesions and holes and sores and festering pockets that's forming in my body. But try everything else, but the last resort will be to stop taking the junk.
Well, you just said, I'm just looking at this, the girls, both long-term addicts whose mother Kim was also a user, so it's second generation, were getting the drug from their regular dealer in nearby Chicago and had no idea what they were really doing to their bodies. But here's the line. Despite the horrendous side effects, they carried on using until about 3 weeks ago. So at what stage?
What stage? Charles Bronson stage. Debt.
Yeah, I'm like the amount. I guess the mind of an addict is something like just how it chemically changes the brain.
Yeah, it must be.
Because these images are just fucking horrible. And it's funny when they have their clothes on, like that. You really can't tell the extent of the damage.
Well, not the extent. They certainly look like they're fucking.
They look like junkie hoes. Definitely look like strong. Especially look with the cigarette dangling. She looked like a junkie ass bitch. But when they start rolling up, look at her fucking leg, man. That shit. You remember V? When they would knock that plastic skin off them fucking reptiles, that's what this shit looked like. V. Yeah. I know you remember that, don't you? This motherfucker's a liar. Any case,
he's probably watching fucking Soul Train or some shit.
Oh, yeah, he probably was watching Soul Train.
Are those photographs available?
Yeah. Are you going to show the people the photographs?
I'll show them the photographs. They're acting up, and I don't want to freeze them. They're coming.
All right.
So they're coming? Okay. They'll eventually. Well, I guess.
So what you will be seeing is basically another online periodical talking about the very same drug.
Oh Christ!
And what?
Are you going to go to the other one?
Yeah.
Woo.
And because that's the one I sent them first.
And,
okay. These are different people in various stages of fucked upness due to Krokodil. And I'm not sure which order you're going to see them, but one will be some disgusting Jezebel where her left leg is about to fall the fuck off.
Yeah, it looked like the skin is flayed from the fucking bone of one of them. Looks like she got attacked, like she dipped her fucking arm in a piranha tank.
Another one will be some persons trying to keep their leg together with some stitching, but that's apparently not working out very well. It looks like a crater, like it's just ghastly.
But for you Breaking Bad fans out there, here's a little bit about that. There's a Breaking Bad reference here. I mean, we were just talking about Breaking Bad, how Sir Anthony Hopkins wrote Bryan Cranston and tell him, how he thought that was the best performance he had seen in his life, as far as in the Walt character throughout the whole show. And here it is again. So it says, a little bit. It says Krokodil is a homemade concoction of codeine and hydrocarbons that is injected into the veins. Since it is homemade, rudimentary mixers like gasoline and hydrochloric acid are used. Without a Crocodile Heisenberg, the drug is often extremely impure and retains traces of the acid in gasoline. For all you people that understand or knew anything about Breaking Bad, his moniker was Heisenberg, and he had the purest meth, period. I mean, it was so pure. There was like 100. Their stuff was 100%, right? On the show, because I remember
it was like 90. I think like 90, somewhere between 95 and 100.
Because I know whatchamacallit, the dude, because they finally got it. I know they was impressed when they got it to like 95.
Yeah.
When they were in the diner, so I was assuming his was above 95.
It could have been.
But whatever it was like the purest that you could possibly get, and so that's what they're saying. These people are
this
just
shit ain't it.
Yeah, this shit definitely ain't it, because
another still you should be seeing is a topless junkie hoe with basically her forearm bones. What are those bones called?
ulnar and the radius.
Ulnar and her radius exposed. She doesn't look like she's having a good time. But that's what happens when you're a junkie bitch and you're shooting up gasoline and other types of poisons.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, this other dude, what the fuck is this? This shit looks like a football losing its laces.
Well, I talked about that one already.
Yeah. She literally looks like a football losing her laces. This other one, now come on. This shit here, if this got to be fake. This has got to be fake.
So the one with the chick moving with her ulnar and her radius exposed is real. But this one with this holding it up, this is fake.
I mean, this is so nasty. This literally look like zombie makeup. This looks like Tom Savini's zombie makeup from the 80s, man. Because her whole shit is just laid open. Mad meat, the bone, look like liquefying skin. This is fucking disgusting. Yo, this is nasty as...
That will be accurate. It is disgusting.
This is horrible. Marlon, why the fuck, man? Seriously, the story that I had didn't have all this disgusting, gross shit to it, and then you have to... Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because those chicks were a whole lot better.
Yeah, I mean, them bitches was messed up, but at least they were intact. These bras is disintegrating.
They're intact as of those photographs.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Right now, they're probably going down in a fucking puddle like they were on that Viper from Street Trash.
Yeah, yet again.
Yeah, well, I make it interesting for the people because they were like, what, Viper, Street Trash?
Yeah, exactly.
Look it up. You'll understand the reference. I don't say these things haphazardly. They actually have a connection. So I think it was an 88 student film from the School of Visual Arts called Street Trash. And they used to drink this stuff called Viper. And, well, you'll just see the particular effects that this Viper had on the bums that drank that shit.
Well, anyway, that's
Did the pictures go up?
I suppose so. That's our first vile story of the day.
Yeah, but there's more to come.
Yeah. Not visually horrendous, but just horrendous in general. Up next, stay tuned. Back in 2.
We tried to